People are saying that Captain America Brave New World is the worst Captain America they've ever seen. I strongly disagree. This movie actually gave me things that I really wanted to see in the MCU. So first off, the tie-ins were just crazy. So obviously there's a international threat dealing with Celestial Island. They're bringing back callbacks from the Eternals and other things. But the callbacks that I really enjoyed were from the Incredible Hulk. Edward Norton's Incredible Hulk, guys. So we're given so much from that movie that's like tying up loose ends, and I appreciated that because The Incredible Hulk was one of my favorite movies. So it was good to see these characters. Now, when you tie that in with Captain America, what are you getting? You're getting Sam Wilson as the new Captain America, how he's dealing with it, and, you know, a little bit of that. He never felt good enough. Like you notice that Anthony Mackie, as he's going through the movie, always has these moments where he doesn't feel good enough, and we've seen this in other movies like cameos when he shows up, not feeling like he fully deserves it or that people are going to take it on and accept him. But he did that a lot in this movie, and I was like, at certain points he was like, yeah, I'm the new Cap and I represent, you know, the good and doing good no matter what and all of that. But then he was like, yeah, I'm not sure. I should. He's doubting himself. And I'm like, this is the movie where maybe you don't doubt yourself as much, right? But when we're talking about the callbacks, we get to see the leader, you know, he was at the end credit of The Incredible Hulk or whatever movie. And we haven't heard him in 12 years. We haven't heard from him in 12 years. So it's good to see that this is what he was doing behind the scenes this whole time. They explained where he was. I think that was very well done. We even get to see Betty Ross, y'all. Like, I haven't seen her in so long, but obviously Harrison Ford's Red Hulk being in this, some things does circulate around him, and that was the biggest thing in his life, wanting Betty to accept him, to understand that he's trying to change XYZ, and I think that came across very good. Speaking of Red Hulk action was awesome. So just the transformation, I think Harrison Ford did an amazing job, but I was a little cringe during when he de-transformed and it ended up being Harrison Ford with his shirt off. Yeah, you can tell he's 80 years old. That's all I'll say about that. But I think that the fight scenes and everything were warranted, and although short, I definitely wanted to see more Red Hulk action, and just the things that they talked about, tying back to Edward Norton's Hulk, I think they did a great job. With Anthony Mackie, we were able to see a lot of good action sequences. He got an upgrade from Wakanda. You know, they helped him out. He's cutting things with his wings. He's protecting himself with the wing. So even as Captain America, he's still able to use his falconness in these fights, and it comes out beautiful. All the action scenes that I've seen him using the suit, were just absolutely great. And I can't talk about this movie without talking about Isaiah Bradley. I've been wanting to see something about the forgotten Captain America for so long. Like the comic book, I'm planning on getting, because that section of the Captain America history is very intriguing to me. So, you know, as a Black Captain America being tested on to get what you get with Chris Evans' Captain America, they perfected it for him, for the white Captain America, and then kind of let all the test subjects of Isaiah Bradley and his friends kind of get forgotten in history, locked away. They were supposed to be in prison the rest of their lives, but then Isaiah Bradley breaks out his friends and he ends up in jail, which years later we see in the movies even that they exonerate him, you know, for the mistreatment of him and people like him, mirroring the Tuskegee experiments. If you don't know, we have Google, we have DeepSeek, Chat AI. I'm not about to explain that to you. This movie felt short for a 2-hour movie. Honestly, I felt like the shortness came because of the lower number of action scenes. I think that we needed more Hulk action, definitely, because the fights that we seen towards the end were great, but you know, it was like they were teasing it, holding him back from actually transforming as a foreshadowing to the end of the movie. But I'm just happy for Anthony Mackie actually being able to get his own movie or lead a movie by himself. I'm sure it was a daunting task. He probably wasn't sure how people would receive it, but he did a good job. Now, was this movie the best movie I ever seen? No, but it's definitely better than the Marvels. And that says a lot. I think what this movie was trying to be, or was used for, is a way to push the MCU forward. We know that the MCU has been trying to fix itself, and I think tying up the old loose ends and showing us the future of the MCU. We've seen movies where at the end, all the kids were like, oh, we need you for a mission. Obviously, they're trying to build the Young Avengers, and they kept on with the same status at the end of this one with the new Falcon, who used to be Anthony Mackie's sidekick. This movie even kind of hints the Thunderbolts, I believe, because Harrison Ford is trying to put back together the Avengers. And Sam Wilson, Anthony Mackie's telling him, well, the Sokovia Accord is pretty much dead at that. You had to sign it and you control us and all of that. Like, how do we know things aren't going to go left? But I have a feeling, and he asked him to actually get the group together. I have a feeling that when he does, it's going to be the Young Avengers that we'll see in the future. So we're already getting pieces of the puzzle put together. In terms of the storyline, I thought the story was good. But I think in terms of Sam Wilson dealing with being Captain America, I think that's what slowed this movie down a little bit. You've been Captain America. You even gave that great speech at the end of your show. Like, you should understand what that means, the struggles. You shouldn't, and I know he's going through his emotions. That's pretty much what this movie was, him coming to grips with being Captain America and what he's willing to do and how he's willing to be Captain America and how he's willing to wear the mantle to differentiate himself. That's what I think. All in all, I gave this movie a 4 out of 5. I absolutely loved the cameos, the callbacks to one of my favorite movies, The Incredible Hulk. Sam Wilson as Captain America has some new tech. The action scenes were actually very dope. Harrison Ford as the Hulk, I did not mind it. Even when he transformed and he did his action, yeah, because the Red Hulk has firepower, so they were showing that off very well. Tying into the future of the MCU, I think they did a great job with that as well. And Isaiah Bradley action, we actually see him fight. We actually see his power, and they actually talk about his past. Like, that's just one of the things that I was fascinated about. They gave it to me. They're even tying in adamantium. They got it from Celestial Island, which also brings about the X-Men. I'm waiting for the X-Men. Thank you for talking about adamantium. So all these things that I see people complaining about, I really don't see them as a detriment to this film. I actually wanted all this from the film, and it gave it to me. I can't complain about that, y'all. Leave your comments down below. Let me know exactly what you thought about this film. Which Captain America do you think that this would be better than if you had to choose one? I'm curious. Guys, as always, I have more movies here, and I look forward to seeing you all in the next one.